that it continuously keeps changing. Isn't it? You have experienced or not? But this knowledge has remained unchanged for last 5,000 years. You see, any constitution of any part of the world, it requires what? Updation, which is called amendment. Why amendment is required? Because it was not complete. Something was left out. But Bhagavad Gita has never required any updation. Rather, it updates others. So we'll begin with the invocation prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Pad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagan Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shundavadi Pashyata Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. You can get that boy, whoever is coming?
No, I will not get in the call.
Acha, okay. Okay, so far we have covered the first 8 chapters. And as I said, you can see the title of this chapter is Most Confidential Knowledge. Of course, Bhagavad Gita, the entire Bhagavad Gita is the epitome of knowledge. We read in the first chapter, first verse, that the knowledge which is given in Bhagavad Gita, it surpasses the knowledge given in the entire texts. And that knowledge which is given in Bhagavad Gita is not found elsewhere. But amongst Bhagavad Gita, what has been presented, this is the most confidential knowledge. If you study the first 6 chapters, of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna reveals the confidential knowledge. What is confidential knowledge in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita? What is confidential part which Krishna reveals? Bolo? You have studied? You are hearing? So what is confidential knowledge? Come to most confidential, first we have to know what is confidential, then we have to know what is more confidential, and then most confidential. Good, better, and best. How can you say something is best? You cannot say something is best. First you need to know what is good, then you need to know what is better, then you can ascertain what is best, isn't it? If you don't know what is good and better, how can you know what is the best? So what is the confidential knowledge in the first 6 chapters Krishna spoke? Very simple. Those who are online can also answer. What is the confidential knowledge which Krishna spoke in the first 6 chapters? This answer should be known to each and every one of you. Very basic. Though I will not take the answer from Manoram bro. You are too senior to answer this question.
Also attending discipline.
That is still higher. Basic. Something very important, which is not taught anywhere else. I'm giving you a big hint. What is confidential knowledge? That Krishna spoke in the first 6 chapters, particularly he spoke in the second chapter. Okay, that is still higher. Soul. Krishna gives knowledge about soul. Is that knowledge available in this world anywhere? In your academics, you have studied for 15, 20 years. Do you get any information or knowledge about soul? Yes or no? This is confidential knowledge. You go to any university, you go to any institute, you go to any, academic institute of excellence. Do you get any knowledge about the soul? No. So, this knowledge about the soul is confidential knowledge. It is not presented anywhere else. This is presented only in Bhagavad Gita. This is confidential knowledge. But just by saying that I am not this body, I am soul, I do not belong to this material body because I am spirit soul, that is not sufficient. Then what you should know? You should know the activities of the soul. What are the activities of the soul? And how to realize that soul? That you are the spirit soul, how to realize it? So that knowledge is more higher than the knowledge of the soul, is it or not? Saying that, that is called application of knowledge, which is higher than the knowledge itself. So that Krishna spoke in the 7th and 8th chapter. Krishna is talking about knowledge of the absolute, how to attain the absolute. Krishna talks about, as you said, that the path of devotion is the highest. But amongst devotees, there are various classes. In the 7th chapter, he spoke how many classes of devotees are there? 4 types. Chaturvidha bhajante. But especially, it talks about in the 8th chapter, who's more special? Ananya cheta satatam yomam smarati nityasha tasyaham sulabha partha. For him, I am easy to attain. So Krishna talks about pure devotion, Ananya Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti, Kevala Bhakti. So that is the highest, that is the topmost. I'll give you an example. What is the essence of milk?
Fat.
Huh? No. Essence of milk is not fat. What is the essence of milk? Very simple, just pick up simple. What to do? Kali Yuga intelligence is already lost. Essence of milk is butter. Essence of milk is butter. But what is the essence of butter? What you said? Is to get ghee. Unadulterated pure ghee, which now is impossible to get. So what is ghee? Ghee is the essence of milk. Yes or no? You are with me? Logically. So Bhagavad Gita is divided in 3 sections: Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is in between, which is the essence. But out of the essence, which is from presented in 7 to 12 chapter, the essence of the essence are the middle 2 chapters. That is the 9th and the 10th chapter. So these are most confidential knowledge. Confidential knowledge is between 7 to 12. But among 7 to 12, the most confidential knowledge is in 9th and 10th. Why? Because it talks about the pure devotee. We saw the last verse. Who remembers the last verse of the 8th chapter? What Krishna spoke? See the last verse of the 8th chapter. Vedeshu yaggeshu tapashu cheva daneshu yat punya phalam pratishtam Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi param sthanamupeti chadyam. So Krishna is revealing in this last verse that which surpasses everything. What it surpasses? Vedeshu, study of Veda, Yaggeshu, performance of all sacrifices, then Tapashu, performing all types of austerities, giving all types of charities. So all that merit or all that advantage or all that pious credit one achieves by performing all these pious activities, it is immediately surpassed. What is the third line? Atyeti sarvam idam viditva. So it surpasses all of it. How? By yogi param sthanam upeti chadyam. The yogi, which kind of yogi? A bhakti yogi. So this 9th chapter will give detailed descriptions about a pure devotee and how the pure devotee captures Krishna, or how Krishna is captured in the love of the pure devotee. That will be revealed in this 9th chapter, which is most confidential knowledge. So this will talk about Krishna's loving relationship with his pure devotee. That is why this is most confidential knowledge. It talks about Ananya Bhakti, pure devotion. So this is the 9th chapter. Okay? It has many, many dimensions. We will discuss one of the most, as it is said, it is the most confidential, but most sweetest. Why? Because it is talking about Krishna's relationship. Although this, to some extent, some of the contents of this chapter Krishna has already presented. There is a lot of similarity between the 7th chapter and the 9th chapter. Like someone will say, there is one joke. One grandmother came to her grandson's house. She came after 4 years. And what she saw, that her grandson was studying algebra. There was a private teacher who came and he was giving classes of algebra. So she asked her grandson, what are you studying? He said, algebra. She said, 4 years back when I came, you were studying algebra. Now again you are studying algebra. Are you remaining in the same class? Don't we study algebra in class 7? And those who are doing graduation in algebra, in maths, don't they study? But the level is different. The dimension is different. So maybe what Krishna is presenting in the 9th chapter, some of it he has presented in the 7th chapter. It was strikingly similar. But it has more details. It has more depth. It has greater dimension. So as we will progress in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna again reveals that same knowledge, but with deeper dimension, with more depth, so that one can dive into it. Okay? So ready to dive in the 9th chapter? We will take the first verse. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam Pravakshyami anusuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yat Gyatva Mokshase Shubhat Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam Pravakshyami anusuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yad Gyatva Mokshase Ashubhat Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te guhyatamam Pravakshyami anusuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Yad Gyatva Mokshase Shubhat. Recite.
Shri Bhagwan Uvacha
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha
Idam tu te guhyatamam
Idam tu te guhyatamam
प्रवक्ष्यामि अनसूयवे
Pravakshyami anusuyave
ज्ञानं विज्ञानं सहितं
jnana vijnana sahitam
यज्ञात्वा यज्ञात्वा मोक्ष्यसे शुभम्
yad gyatva mokshase shubhat. Others, please recite. करो recite करोगे तो your phobia will be over.
श्री भगवान वाच
Shri Bhagavan Vacha Guhyatamam
गुह्यतम
Idam tu te Guhyatamam Pravakshyami Anusuyave. Sanskrit se mat pakdo. In English se word meaning se padho. So many times I have told. See, let us be very realistic. Life may you will, save yourself from frustration when you become realistic. What you can do, you should endeavor. And what is not in your reach, you should leave it aside and save your time and effort. If you hit your head against the wall, what will happen? The wall will not break, the head will break. That intelligence one should have. So you see, that is why these Prabhupada books are so special. He has given the transliteration in English. Why Bhagavad Gita we all can study and share? Because Prabhupada has presented in English. Previously, it was not popular. Why? Because it was in Sanskrit. How many people know Sanskrit? Hardly. So you see, when I am speaking, then you should see the word meaning. If you read from the word meaning, it will be very easy. If you try to read from Sanskrit, you will not be able to solve the jiggle, the riddle. You will get trapped in it. Okay? Try.
श्री भगवान वाच
Shri Bhagwan Uvacha
इदं तु ते गुह्यतम
Idam tu te guhyatamam Pravakshyami
प्रवक्ष्यामि
Anusuyave
अनुसूयवे
Pravakshyami Anusuyave
ज्ञानं विज्ञानं सहितं
Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam
याज्ञत्वा
Moksha se Ashubhat. Here, we have to learn to hear. If we hear attentively, then the difficult part will become easy. Any one of you want to try? Try.
श्री भगवान
Okay, good.
श्री भगवान वाचा
Shri Bhagwan Uvacha Vidam tu te Guhyatamam Pravakshyami Anusuyave Vijnanam
ज्ञानं विज्ञानं सहितं
Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam
मुझसे शुभम्
Yad Gyatva Moksha se Ashubhat. Yes, you read. Go ahead.
श्री भगवान उवाच
Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam tu te Guhyatamam Pravakshyami Anusuyave Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam Gyatva Moksha se Ashubhat. See, so Krishna is saying that now idam tute, that this knowledge that I have spoken to you, I will further give you enlightenment, which is Guhyatamam. So far Krishna spoke about confidential knowledge, which was in the second chapter, difference between matter and spirit, body and soul, temporary and eternal. And then in the 7th chapter and the 8th chapter, he spoke about knowledge which is pertaining to devotional service. That is more confidential. But now he says, I will express to you, I will disclose to you, which is Guhyatama. That is the highest, most confidential part of the knowledge. And why will I speak to you? Pravakshyami. Pravakshyami means that I shall declare to you or I shall speak to you. What is Pravakshyami here? I am speaking to you. Anusuyave. This is very important. This quality is very much required for one to gain spiritual knowledge. Anusuyave means non-enviousness. free from envy. In this material world, everyone's heart is filled with envy. How do you know someone gets something better than us, something higher than us? What is our desire? To appreciate him, to regard him, to go and congratulate him. Do we do that? No. What is the desire? Why he? Why not me? Yes or no? What it reveals? It reveals enviousness. Enviousness. So in this material world, everyone is envious of other success. So one who is envious of others, how can he have love for the Supreme Lord? So Arjuna is free from envy. How do we know Arjuna is free from envy? Krishna is giving this appreciation to Arjuna that idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anusuyave. Because you have this very special quality that you are free from envy, I shall now declare and reveal to you the knowledge which is most confidential. Isn't it? Sometimes the teacher or the father may give the keys of his locker to one son. Which son? Not to every son. To whom will he give?
Elder.
Not elder. Not always elder. Whom he will give? Simple question. Huh? The whom he loves the most. And what is the love based on? The respect that the son gives. The obedience that the son has. Right or no? The more the son is respectful and obedient, the more the father will give him his love and his favor. And the more the son is disobedient, then the more the father will regret why he begot such a son. So Krishna is inspired to speak Bhagavad Gita because Arjuna was the right candidate. Before Arjuna, Krishna did not speak Bhagavad Gita. In the 4th chapter, Krishna says, Raja Vidya Rajaguyam. No. What is the word? Evam parampara praptam imam Raja Rishiyo vidu sa kalena mahata yoga nashta parantapa. When this knowledge which was coming in parampara was broken, long back, you cannot trace out in the history when it was broken. So my dear sir, why did you not speak? Because there was no one who was fit to receive. So it was not spoken. And what is that quality required? Anusuyave, non-enviousness. So I am asking you, based on what we have studied in Bhagavad Gita, where are the evidences that Arjuna was non-envious? It is not that Krishna is saying, deciding on, his own liking and disliking. I don't like Duryodhana, so I will not give him this knowledge. I like Arjuna, so I'll give him this knowledge. No. What is the criteria? The criteria is the quality. The criteria is the character. The criteria is the conduct. Not otherwise. So where is the evidence that Arjuna is non-envious? There are so many evidences we have already studied in first few chapters of Bhagavad Gita, where Arjuna's evidence of being non-envious is very prominently exhibited. Why most of the onliners are video of Pranab, Ravinder? Why you have switched off your videos? Ramya? Where is the evidence that Arjuna is Anusuyave? Quickly, keep it outside. If it is falling again, keep it aside. Speak, you have studied Bhagavad Gita. You don't find any evidence of Arjuna being non-envious? Pradeep, at least you should reply. You have been hearing Bhagavad Gita for more than 10 years. Yes, Madan Swarup Prabhu.
Prabhuji,
Let him first speak. He rose his hand. Yes, Madan Swarup Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Bhasvi. See, Arjuna in the first chapter and in the beginning of second chapters, at many places he says that I don't want this kingdom at the cost of killing my guru and Bhishma Pitama, who is more than guru. So that is envious person will never give up all these things.
Yes, yes, very good. Arjuna is speaking. Yeah. That I do not want this kingdom. Kim nu rajena govinda, kim bhogena jivatena va. That I am not interested in this kingdom. What to speak of this kingdom? I am not interested in the kingdom of the three worlds. Why? Because I don't want to kill my kinsman. Who is the kinsman? Who is the kinsman? Duryodhana and his brothers. And what they did with Arjuna and his brothers? But still he wants to forgive them. Not only he wants to forgive them, he also wants to give them the kingdom also. Let it remain with you. I am not interested. Then how much regard he has for his grandfather Bhishma and Guru Drona. Although they sided with the Kauravas, but still his regard and his respect did not diminish an inch. He says, Guru nahatva hi mahanubhavan shreyo bhaktam bhaksham api haloke. That for me it is better to go and beg rather than to go and kill my elders and Guru. I will not do that. Even if I have to beg, I will accept that. So Arjuna is completely non-envious. Because Arjuna is non-envious, Krishna is revealing confidential knowledge. The next line says, Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. Jnanam is knowledge. And what is Vijnanam? Vijnanam is the realization that comes from application of knowledge, which is higher, which is important. As I said, just to know that I am not this body, I am spirit, soul. This is knowledge. But where is the Vijnan? Vijnan means the realization. Where is the person on the platform where he knows that what he must perform being the spirit soul? That knowledge is higher. So Krishna will not just give the knowledge, he will give the realization also, the application of knowledge. And after achieving this knowledge, yad gyatva, if you are situated in this knowledge, moksha se, you will be liberated. Liberated from all kinds of sufferings and frustrations. Ashubhat. You will be free from everything which is inauspicious. That means your life will become very pure, pristine. Free from all kinds of troubles, tribulations and disturbances. Why the trouble is there? Why the disturbance is there? Is it physical more or is it mental more? Mental. And why the mental disturbances are there? Because we are lacking realization. We don't have the realization. We don't have the knowledge. Realization is next. So Arjuna will be free from all kind of tribulations and troubles when he is situated in this knowledge. Okay, clear? Idam tu te guhyatamam, most confidential knowledge. So you know what is confidential knowledge? What is confidential knowledge? You speak. We are discussing for almost half an hour this matter. What is confidential knowledge? Activity of the? No. What is confidential knowledge? Knowledge about matter and spirit. Knowledge about eternal and temporary. Knowledge about soul. So Krishna gave a very detailed description of what is the difference between body and soul in the second chapter, which is called the Sankhya Yoga. Detailed delineation of the spirit and matter. Okay. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me. So very important is, to the extent people say we don't understand Bhagavad Gita, or Bhagavad Gita, I read but I forget. And whenever I read, I hardly get to understand anything. What is the reason? We are not having this quality of Anusuyave. And especially, we are envious of whom? The Supreme Lord. What is the enviousness between the Supreme Lord? Why He is the Lord? Why not me? Why I have to follow and He has to direct? Once Srila Prabhupada went to Japan. We traveled to Japan many times. But when he was getting his books printed, particularly Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So at that time, manager was also there. The vice president was also there. The president was also there. Chairman was also there. So during one of the intervals, so all others left, but the junior most was asked to take care of Prabhupada. So all their visiting cards were there. First top card was chairman card. Second card was president card. Third card was vice president card. And fourth card was this person's card, who was the executive. So Prabhupada asked him, and what is the goal of your life? This Japanese executive. So what he did, he picked up the card from the fourth place and kept it on the top place. And this is the goal of my life. What? That I want to become the chairman of this company or the head of this company. That should not be the goal of our life. Our goal of life will be to reduce our envy towards Krishna and others. Which one is difficult? Tell me. Which one is difficult? To go to the top position of the corporate ladder is difficult, or to remove envy from our heart is difficult? Which is difficult? Now, what will be the quality of life if there is no envy? One will be liberated, and there will be nothing inauspicious even in this world for such a personality. So this is what should be our goal. This is what should be our mission in life. To be free from enviousness. Why all the conflicts are there in the world? Why there is a relationship problem? In this world, which is most turbulent times, everyone is at war. Everyone is striking one another. What is the reason? There is non-tolerance. Why? Because the root is envy. So here Prabhupada is speaking, he said that because you are never envious of me. Krishna is revealing to Arjuna, because you are never envious of me. That means whether you give me good or you give me bad, I will never doubt you. I will never ever suspect you or say bad things about you. In this world, when you give me favor, you are good. And if you give me difficulty, then you are bad. Not that kind of relationship. That kind of relationship is based on very much one's selfish motive. That is why we see a relationship problem is there. You take any relationship. Father and son, or mother and daughter, father and daughter, relationship between mother and father, relationship between husband and wife, any relationship. Why? Because this factor of trust and love is not there. Not to be envious means what? To have what we have. We have only love. And the love is so condensed that there is no space for any doubt or any negativity. Can you find such relationship in this world? Any relationship? No. That relationship is between Krishna and Arjuna. So the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita flows. To the extent we are removing the envy in our heart from Krishna, to that extent Bhagavad Gita's knowledge will flow in the heart. To the extent we are envious of Krishna, we cannot access Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna, please come, welcome. Hare Krishna. This is very important quality and characteristic which Arjuna had. It was not with anyone else. That is why Krishna did not select Dharmayaj Yudhishthir. He had to establish Dharma and he spoke Bhagavad Gita. And Dharmaraj was there, Maharaj Yudhishthir. So he was the most fit candidate to receive Bhagavad Gita. He was elder also, he was king also, and he was Dharmaraj also. So then Krishna's obvious choice should be Yudhishthir should have been spoken to Bhagavad Gita. But Krishna did not speak Bhagavad Gita to Yudhishthir Maharaj. Why? Because Arjuna had this most unique quality. Arjuna was never envious of Krishna. We are discussing the first verse of the 9th chapter. So Krishna is declaring, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge. So the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will penetrate into our heart to the extent our envy for Krishna is reduced. And to the extent we have envy for Krishna, it cannot enter. That is why in the worldly people we find most of them say, Prabhu, कुछ समझ में नहीं आता है. I have tried किया, many times I tried, many times I picked up. कुछ दिन पढ़ा, लेकिन उसके बाद बंद कर दिया. बढ़ेगा नहीं. This is science. I shall impart to you the most confidential knowledge and realization. Both Krishna has given Jnanam and Vijnanam, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. That means what? In the material world, you will be in the spiritual realm. You will be always in bliss. Many times we see devotees, they are always happy. How? Krishna is speaking here that you will be relieved of miseries of material existence. Others will always be in material existence. Even if you become the president of America, his material existence is millions of times more than others. Whatever position you take. What is the name? Elon Musk, the richest person. See his life, how miserable. He is at war with his best friend. Not Supreme Lord. हो गया Supreme Lord. बनने की ख्वाहिश थी वो उड़ गई. Both are fighting like cats and dogs. The love affair is over. Hare Krishna. So in this material world, all relationships, still the element of envy is there. So that is why you cannot experience any love in the relationship. So here Krishna is inviting, through Arjuna he is declaring that those who are non-envious, they will receive this Jnanam and Vijnana Sahita, and they will be free from all miseries. That is what we should aspire for. We should live a life where there are no miseries. If there is no misery, then there is always bliss. This is what we do, singing, dancing. Okay. As the devotee hears more and more about the Supreme Lord, he becomes enlightened. So this knowledge of the Supreme Lord, where we are receiving from the Supreme Lord himself. And what is the way to receive this knowledge? Is just to hear, like Arjuna is hearing. And now all of us are hearing. It's the same knowledge. What he spoke to Arjuna is what we are hearing. This hearing process is recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita is given in a very abbreviated way because Krishna just gave the principles. But explanation and elaboration of the principles, what Krishna spoke in Bhagavad Gita, is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So the details are more given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada is quoting Srimad Bhagavatam that the messages of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are full of potencies. So when we are hearing from Krishna or we are hearing about Krishna, which potency is working? Spiritual potency. In this material world, which potency is working? Material potency. This is called Maya Shakti. But spiritual potency is Antaranga Shakti, the internal energy of the Lord. And these potencies can be realized if topics regarding the Supreme Personality are discussed among the devotees. So what we are doing? We are discussing amongst devotees. Some are practicing, some are aspiring. Yeah. The sooner the better. Because then what will be there? Two things will be there. As we are aspiring to be devotee, as we are practicing, what will come down? Envy will come down. And secondly, attraction for Krishna will go up. Then another reason. Why we are not attracted to Krishna? Because we have envy. What is the example? The magnet being not attracting the iron. Why? Because the iron has the layers of rust. And that rust is compared to lust. In the heart, if we have lust, that means we have envy for Krishna. Then we cannot be attracted to Krishna. Then we will be attracted to Maya. So this hearing process is very effective. What it does, it reduces our envy and increases our love for Krishna. Very simple thing. What magic? It works like magic. This cannot be achieved by the association of mental speculators. So this kind of discussion that we are hearing here, this cannot be achieved by mental speculator or academic scholars. For it is realized knowledge. So very important. The Bhagavad Gita is again and again emphasizing about the process of hearing. And how we are hearing? Hearing in association. Especially here, discussed among devotees. So in association. The devotees are constantly engaged in Supreme Lord's service. The Lord understands the mentality and sincerity of a particular living entity who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and gives him the intelligence to understand the science of Krishna in the association of devotees. Very important. So, if we are practicing the process which Krishna is giving, so Krishna becomes very pleased. Prabhupada is saying here, Krishna understands the mentality and sincerity of the particular living entity who is practicing the process. So Krishna will help in all respects. Discussion of Krishna is very potent, and if a fortunate person has such association and tries to assimilate the knowledge, then he will surely make advancement toward spiritual realization. So spiritual realization is not like what happens to Eureka. Who said? Archimedes. Eureka. One day it will fall from the heaven. Idea aa jayega now. Where the idea will come? In the association of devotees, not otherwise. Not individually or not separately. So where is the potency working? The spiritual potency will work in the Sangha. That is why we call Sankirtan. You experienced yesterday? Swati? You experienced? Devotees were singing and dancing for hours and hours. It was so humid. We were all completely wet. But our energy and our enthusiasm was not dampened. How it was coming? Because of the spiritual potency flowing there, coming from Lord Jagannath. So you can experience in the association of sincere devotee, you can immediately be uplifted. You can feel the spiritual potency. You can feel the spiritual vibration. And you can also feel the spiritual upliftment. And when you come out, again you will see that that potency is not there. Krishna, in order to encourage Arjuna to higher and higher elevation in his potent service, describes this 9th chapter matters more confidential than he has already disclosed. So far, this topic, what Krishna will reveal in this chapter, has not been disclosed. What is that topic? The topic of Krishna's intimate and sweet relation with his devotee. To what extent Krishna loves and protects his devotees, that will be revealed in this chapter, which is most confidential. The very beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, the first chapter is more or less on introduction of the rest of the book. And in the second and third chapter, the spiritual knowledge is described called confidential. We discussed. That is topics of soul. In the 7th and 8th chapters are specifically related to devotional service. And because they bring enlightenment in Krishna consciousness, they are called more confidential. Okay? But in the matters which are described in the 9th chapters, deal with unalloyed pure devotion. Therefore, it is called the most confidential. One who is situated in the most confidential knowledge of Krishna is naturally transcendental. This word is very important, transcendental. Transcendental means that one who is beyond the material influence. I'll give you an example. Like you have seen the lotus plant. Where does the lotus plant grow? Huh? In the water. In the water. Huh? But this lotus leaf, although it is in the water, it does not retain the water. What is the quality of the lotus leaf? That if you pour water, the water will slip. So similarly, transcendental means one is in this material world, one is in this material body, one is in the material surrounding. But material energy will not impact or influence. I'll give you one more example, relatable. Like you have embassy of America in India. But as soon as you enter the territory of the embassy, the laws of Indian constitution and Indian government does not work there. Although that is in India. Which law will work? American. Well, this is a part of Indian land, but still it will not work. Indian police cannot go and arrest anyone inside the American embassy. Why? Because that jurisdiction is not there. You get a point? So this is what Krishna is speaking. That transcendental means that although remaining in this material world, remaining in the material body, the influence of the material energy, the three modes will not be there. That means you have become immune. Like you have put a vaccine. The bacteria will be there. The disease will be there. But you will remain beyond the jurisdiction. So that is transcendental. Although being in this material world, being in this material body, being not influenced by the material things. He therefore has no material pangs. What are the material pangs? Birth, death, old age and disease. Everyone has this material pang. Yes or no? Can anyone be free? No. Between people do not remember birth and people do not accept death. But whether they accept or not, it will come. And before death, what will come? Surely disease and old age. And besides this, there are three types of other sufferings, which is common for everyone. It is called Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, and Adhyatmik. Adi Devik means which is coming from the supernatural powers. Like everyone is expecting rains. I am seeing that the Met department is every day giving some alert that there will be very heavy rains. They are making a mockery of themselves. For last 15 days, every day they are giving yellow alert, orange alert, this alert, that alert. It is a useless alert. But in due course of time, there will be heavy rains. Then what will be the situation? You cannot move out of your house. Everywhere in Delhi, there will be a complete traffic chaos. I remember 2 or 3 years before, once there was heavy rain, people could not reach their house in the entire night. They were stranded on road for 6 to 8 to 10 hours, especially from the Gurgaon side. Yeah. What is our contribution in that? Did we did something? There is excessive heat, there is excessive cold. So all these climatic changes, climatic curses, there is earthquake, there is famine. Is it within the control of anyone? Jurisdiction of anyone? No. But everyone has to suffer. So this is called Adi Devik, which is coming from the supernatural powers. Those inflictions or those sufferings which are coming from the supernatural. No one has any control. Then there is Adi Bhautik. Adi Bhautik means which is coming from other living entities. Like you are peacefully sleeping in the night, and one mosquito comes and bites you. Your entire sleep is disturbed. And it can infect some infection in you also. In some way, you are, driving in your street, and from the opposite side, someone comes and bangs you, or comes and bangs you from the back, and you see what happens. There is road rage. People fight and even kill each other for no reasons. So those sufferings which are coming from other living entities. And what is most of the time our mind is saying, why am I suffering? Because of him or her. No one suffers because of anyone else. And the third is Adhyatmika. That means the source is neither the supernatural power nor the other living entities. Where is the source of suffering? Our uncontrolled mind. Which inflicts the maximum suffering to us? Others? It comes from within, from inside, from our mind, intelligence, and ego. So one will be free. One has received this knowledge. So one will be free from all kinds of suffering in this material world. Prabhupada is saying that one who is situated in this most confidential knowledge of Krishna is naturally transcendental. He therefore has no material pangs. Although he is in this material world. I gave sufficient examples. Yeah? In the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, this is another scripture which is given by one of our acharyas called Srila Rupa Goswami. It is said that although one has a sincere desire to render loving service to the Supreme Lord, is situated in the confidential state of material existence, in the conditioned state of material, he is considered liberated. Similarly, we shall find in Bhagavad Gita 10th chapter that anyone who is engaged in that way is a liberated person. So anyone who has sincere desire to serve the Lord, then what is the situation? That he is already on the path of liberation. Liberation means no suffering. Now in the first verse, the specific significance, the word idam jnanam, this knowledge, refers to pure devotional service, which consists of 9 different activities. So what is this knowledge which Krishna is revealing? And Prabhupada is explaining that this is of 9 different types. And where it begins, what we are practicing. Right now what we are practicing? Shravanam, hearing. We are hearing. So please hear with attention. To the extent, where is the participation? The participation is not of the head. The participation is of the heart. Who hears? Actually, the soul has to hear. Where is the soul? In the heart. So we have to hear with heart. If you hear with heart, you will never forget. If you hear with head, it is most likely that you will forget. So this we have to practice, is to hear with heart. So hearing, then chanting. Most of you are not chanting. If you don't chant, the sufficient purification will not be there. Heart will remain what? Envious. Dirty things, dirty aspirations will be there in the heart. Till the time lust, greed, anger, envy is there in the heart, you cannot make progress. What is required? Chanting. But we are so stubborn that we don't want to chant. Then, if somebody says that I don't want to give exams, but I want to become PhD, is it possible, sir? Can you help him? Madam, you can help him? No? This is our situation. Hearing, चलो ठीक है, सुन लेंगे. बोलते हैं तो आ जाएंगे, क्लास में बैठ जाएंगे, सुन भी लेंगे. अभी तो लोग आजकल मोबाइल भी देखते रहते हैं, सुनते भी रहते हैं. Chanting is very much required. Chanting means that we are committing ourselves to serve. We are crying, we are calling out that yes, my dear Lord, I have a desire to serve you. Hearing, chanting, then remembering. Remembering means smaranam. If we are hearing and chanting properly, then we will have remembrance of the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, whom do we remember? Where our mind goes again and again? Where we have most attraction. Do we have attraction for Krishna? No. We have attraction for Krishna's counterpart in the material world. Maya Devi. And then serving, worshipping, praying, obeying, maintaining friendships, and surrendering everything. So these are the 9 limbs. These are called the Navadha Bhakti. By the practice of these 9 elements of devotional service, one is elevated to spiritual consciousness. This is very important. Consciousness is one's awakening or awareness as to what one thinks, who he is. Right now, what is our consciousness? What is our thinking? What do we think ourselves? Differently. Everyone is in the different level of consciousness. You may think that I am a teacher, and you may have your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions inclined according to that. Yes or no? So what is the higher level of spiritual consciousness? That we think that I am connected to Krishna. So what kind of thoughts will be there? What kinds of desires will be there? What kinds of aspirations will be there? To serve and please Krishna. So if we don't have connection, then how can we have aspiration? Will you think what Trump is thinking? No. There is no connection. Or will you think what Modi is thinking? No. No connection. So by these 9 elements, what we will do? We will connect to Krishna. All these 9 processes are given to connect with Krishna. So if we connect with Krishna, then we will change our thinking. Our thoughts will change. If our thoughts will change, our desires will change. If our desires will change, our actions will change. Our aspirations will change. So Prabhupada is saying by this practice of these 9 elements of devotional service, one is elevated to the spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness. So Krishna comes in the center. When one's heart is thus cleared of material contamination, one can understand the signs of Krishna. This is very important. The contamination in the heart, which is in the form of envy, and so many others. Lust, anger, greed, illusion, pride, so many. So what are these? These are wanted things. We want to preserve them. But can we get rid of them? No, we are so helpless. So how it can happen? When we accept these 9 processes. So the contamination can be cleansed. Simply to understand that living entity is not material is not sufficient. We discussed this. Yeah, I am this, I am not this body, I am spirit soul. But so what? What is the activity of the spirit soul? That may be the beginning of the spiritual realization. But one should recognize this difference between activity of the body and the spiritual activity. So this is important. This is called Vijnana. Vijnana means the application of the knowledge which you have received. What is the formula of water? H2O. 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen. Can you get water? There is sufficient hydrogen and oxygen in the air. Get water. Can you do that? No. The application is not there. Realization is not there. In the 7th chapter, we have already discussed the opulent potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna spoke about his various energies, both material and spiritual. The different energies, the inferior and the superior nature. And all these material manifestations, now in the 9th chapter, the glory of the Lord will be delineated. So some of the sections will be what Krishna has already spoken, but as I said, it will be more in detail and depth, particularly emphasizing on the relationship with the Supreme Lord. The Prabhupada talks about the word Anusuyave. The Sanskrit word Anusuyave in this verse is also very significant. Generally, the commentators, even if they are highly scholarly, they are all envious of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Bhagavad Gita that we are studying now, it was introduced to the world in late 60s or early 70s. So how many years? 30 and 25. So 55 years. So this Bhagavad Gita edition is just 55 years old since it was introduced. And this has surpassed the Bhagavad Gita numbers circulated till now in modern last 100 years. How? Because this is most authentic. Why? Because all other commentators, Prabhupada is saying, what they have an element of envy towards Krishna. What they don't have towards Krishna, they don't have that unconditional love. So how can they comment on Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita can only be revealed, Krishna is speaking here, to those who are free from envy. To those who have envy in their heart, how can they know Bhagavad Gita? And if you hear their Bhagavad Gita or read or study their Bhagavad Gita, how can you be benefited? When they themselves could not be benefited, if you go to a doctor who has the same disease that you have, and he is unable to cure himself, what is the point in going to him? You are wasting your time and resources with him. So Prabhupada is commenting, even if they are highly scholarly, they are all envious of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even the most erudite scholars write on Bhagavad Gita very inaccurately because they are envious of Krishna. Their commentaries are useless. The commentaries given by the devotees of the Lord are bona fide. No one can explain Bhagavad Gita or give perfect knowledge of Krishna if he is envious. Very clear. So what we have to do? We have to reduce our envy towards Krishna and towards others. Yes or no? That should be the mission of our life. That should be the goal of our life. Not that I have one cycle and let me get motorcycle. And with motorcycle, I want to get a new car, EV car. One who criticizes the character of Krishna without knowing him is a fool. So Prabhupada is giving the reason that why he is calling commentators to be all with envy. So such commentators should be very carefully avoided. For one who has understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the pure and transcendental personality, these chapters will be very beneficial. Okay. These are very important verses. The first 3 verses are very, very important verses. Let us have some more discussion on this. I have written one reference here from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:13-60, which talks about non-enviousness. I will take this verse also. 10th canto, 13th chapter, and 60th verse. It is not in this Bhagavad Gita. And then we'll have some discussion. Okay, devotees who are online, you can see the verse. It
Yes,
says-
Prabhuji.
Sorry?
Yes, Prabhuji, we can see.
Okay. Yatra naisarga durvaira sahashanna mrigadaya mitrani eva ajitavasha dhrutarut Tarshaka Adhikam. So this says that Vrindavan is the transcendental abode of the Lord, where there is no hunger, anger, or thirst. Though naturally inimical, both human beings and fierce animal live together in transcendental friendship. So when the hearts are satisfied, when one is feeling joy, there cannot be any inimical feelings for others. Prabhupada gives the purport. The word vana means forest. We are afraid of the forest and we do not wish to go there. Why? Because there are wild animals who can attack and harm us or even kill us. But in Vrindavan, the forest animals are as good as demigods, for they have no envy. Even in this material world, in the forest, the animals live together. And when they go to drink water, they do not attack anyone. Envy develops because of sense gratification. The root of envy is trying to enjoy. But in Vrindavan, there is no sense gratification. For the only aim is Krishna's satisfaction. Even in this material world, the animals in Vrindavan are not envious of the sadhus who live there. The sadhus keep cow and supply milk to the tigers, saying, "Come here and take a little milk." Can you imagine? Thus, envy and malice are unknown in Vrindavan. That is the difference between Vrindavan and the ordinary world. We are horrified to hear the name of Vana, the forest, but in Vrindavan there is no such horror. Everyone there is happy by pleasing Krishna. Krishnot Kirtan Gana Nartan Paro. Whether a Goswami or a tiger or other ferocious animal, everyone's business is the same, to please Krishna. Even the tigers are also devotees. This is the specific qualification of Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, everyone is happy. The calf is happy, the cat is happy, the dog is happy, the man is happy. Everyone wants to serve Krishna in a different capacity. And thus there is no envy. This is how we can remove envy. When we have this desire to serve and please Krishna. One may sometimes think that the monkeys in Vrindavan are envious because they cause mischief and steal food. But in Vrindavan, we find that the monkeys are allowed to take butter, which Krishna himself distributes. Krishna personally demonstrates that everyone has the right to live. This is Vrindavan life. Very important. That we should accept that everyone has the right to live. This is Vrindavan life. Why should I live and you die? No, that is material life. This is what we are practicing now. That you should not be allowed to do what you are doing. I am the super boss. I am the super person. I will decide what you will do. So there will be what? Conflict and war. Why there is war? Because the other country chief is thinking that this countryman should not be doing what they are doing. This right I only have. They don't have. How can they do that? So I will attack them. Or I will kill them. The inhabitants of Vrindavan think, whatever is given by Krishna, let us divide it as prasad and eat. I was very happy to see your service attitude, Swadhin. 10 times I would have told him that you please take prasad. And there were so many special items. But he was busy in distributing to others. And believe me, the satisfaction that you gave in distributing, you don't get by eating. You get much more satisfaction by distributing to others. This mentality cannot appear all of a sudden. Very important. This will not appear all of a sudden. But it will gradually develop with Krishna consciousness. By sadhana, one can come to this platform. So we have to practice. This is Vijnana. Vijnana will come only by practice and application. In the material world, one may collect friends all over the world in order to distribute food freely. Yet those to whom the food is given may not even feel appreciative. Right now, ISKCON is doing a big distribution program of prasadam in Jagannath Puri. almost 40 million meals. From yesterday, Rath Yatra, till the return of the Rath Yatra, which will be, I think, on 5th or 6th. Almost 8-10 days. Whoever comes in Puri can get the advantage of getting prasadam free. And with ISKCON, Mr. Adani has also tied up. He is, of course, providing the finance. They did it in Kumbh Mela also for almost 1 month. The value of Krishna consciousness, however, will gradually be very much appreciated. For instance, in an article about the Temple of Hare Krishna movement in Durban, South Africa, the Durban Post reported all the devotees here are very active in the service of Lord Krishna. And the results are obvious to see happiness and good health, peace of mind, and the development of all good qualities. This is the nature of Vrindavan. Harao bhaktasya kuto mahadguna. Without Krishna consciousness, happiness is impossible. One may struggle, but one cannot have happiness. We are therefore trying to give human society the opportunity for a life of happiness, good health, peace of mind, and all good qualities through God consciousness. Hare Krishna. When this verse, Krishna is assuring Arjuna that what he will reveal is the most confidential knowledge, which he has not spoken so far. And this knowledge, when one is situated in this knowledge, he will be free from all material sufferings. Hare Krishna. Okay. From your side, any participation, discussion, question, query, challenge, please ask. Why you have joined? You are already here live. That's it. Yes, Madan Swarup Prabhu.
Prabhuji, can you explain a little more about Gyan and Vigyan?
Yeah, simple. Gyan is knowledge and Vigyan is realization and application of knowledge. I gave the example H2O. Just saying water means H2O, 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen. Will it quench your thirst? So Krishna is talking about confidential knowledge which he has already spoken about, the difference between matter and soul, or matter and spirit, temporary and eternal. So he is giving the realization. Here is giving more. He has already given the realization to some extent in the 7th and 8th chapter. But here what he will reveal is even more confidential. How to realize that knowledge. And how to realize that knowledge, Krishna has already stated here, is to be non-envious. They'll give the realization. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Bolo? I spoke for more than 1 hour. Yes.
But सारे लोगों को यही नहीं पता होता कि उनको envy है।
कोई बात नहीं, 1 मिनट, एक बात बताइए, जब आप किसी हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं, है ना, आप हॉस्पिटल में क्यों एडमिट होते हैं? हाँ, ट्रीटमेंट। आप हॉस्पिटल में जाते हैं, वहां जाके पता चलता है कि बहुत से लोग, कुछ लोग 1 हफ्ते से आए हुए हैं, कुछ लोग 1 महीने से आए हुए हैं, कुछ लोग 1 साल से आए हुए हैं। तो आपकी क्या इच्छा होती है? हम भी यहाँ रहेंगे, 1 साल ये रहा तो हम 2 साल रहेंगे। है ना? बिल भरेंगे और यहाँ रहेंगे। आप क्या बोलते हो डॉक्टर को? आप क्या बोलते हो?
मैं तो कभी नहीं बोलूं।
आप क्या बोलते हो डॉक्टर को?
जल्दी छोड़।
हाँ, जल्दी छोड़ो, जल्दी छोड़ो, निकालो हमें यहाँ से। तो यहाँ भगवान बोल रहे हैं ना, यद ज्ञात्वा मोक्ष से अशुभा। If they are suffering, they are struggling, you want to be, better than them in their struggle and in their suffering. You want to be free from the suffering. So let us first care and, focus on our improvement rather than trying to improve others. So Krishna spoke to Arjuna, who was non-envious. He didn't speak to the Duryodhana and party. No? Because Arjuna never compared himself to them. He was not able to see anything, wrong with them. He's saying, better if they kill me, but I will not kill them. They want what? They want kingdom, they want property, they want applause. Let them have it. But I will not incur this sin. I will not commit this, grievous act. So why should we not follow Arjuna? Why every time we want to be in the Duryodhana party? We have to change. We have to change. This is what spirituality will, spirituality means that we have to change our perception. We have to change our conception. We have to change our priorities. The goal of life is not to become the richest man. The goal of life is to become a non-envious person. Non-envious person means having love for Krishna. Who is richer? Who will be richer? One who has love for Krishna or one who has wealth without Krishna? Who is richer? You are still not convinced. Jeff Bezos has to marry, I don't know how many times. Still, he is searching for love. Can he find love with his money? He cannot. He cannot. Yes.
Krishna also said that we should not have men goal should not be to be the richest person, but
That is all material. Na? Material means what? Temporary.
temporary. But in the previous phase, we have discussed that father always used to love the his son who is richest or is like is capable of obedient or something like that.
No, what are you speaking? See, you are comparing two things which are incompatible. You be clear to what you are asking. Father loves the son who is more obedient. So obedience is richness. Yes, it is the good quality. So what are you asking? What is your question? What is the doubt? बोलो बोलो हिंदी में बोलो जरूरी नहीं है इंग्लिश में बोलना हिंदी में बोलो जो जो हृदय में है, बोलो
Then how we can expect that father will was that was my question.
अरे if you follow him he will love you, simple. If you don't follow him he will love you. He will slap you. And if you become very disobedient then he will say and you can leave and do whatever you want. Right or wrong? What will the teacher do? Whom does the teacher shower the most affection?
Follow what teacher says.
One who does what he is supposed to do. He comes in time, he studies, he does his assignment, he does his whatever research work is. And whenever there is difficulty, he comes and report. He does not try to hide or he does not try to give some excuses. So he will win the favor. Simple as that. Now where is the difficulty? The most difficult part in this material world with the Kali Yugi ego is following. We don't want to follow. And as the envy is more, every time what will happen, we will say we are following, but we will keep deviating. We'll keep, getting distracted. And one whose envy is not there, he will easily follow. How can we know the envy is there? We will always fail to follow. Something will come from within. Some, element of provocation from within will come and he will block it. What is that? Envy. Yes, Ramya? Bole.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, this verse is totally based on how to become non-envious. Then what are the practical tips that we will become non-envious towards Krishna?
Okay, very good. As I said, that whom we love, from whom we don't have envy. And how do we know that we love? Because we naturally accept him and align our heart to what he likes. And we distance ourselves to what he dislikes. Yes or no? So we will follow what Krishna wants from us. Anukulasya sankalpaha, pratikulasya varjanam. And what Krishna says not to do, we will not do. In any relationship you see in this material world, how you come close? When the likings and dislikings are similar. Birds of same feather always flock together. So if we want to be in the Krishna's flock, then what we have to do? What Krishna recommends? And who can follow? Who has less envy for Krishna. Those who have more envy for Krishna cannot follow. They will find fault with Krishna. अरे ये क्यों करूं? इसे करने से क्या होगा? They'll keep doubting. They'll keep questioning. They'll keep arguing. Okay, Ramya?
प्रभु जी ऐसा भी होता है कि
Take a minute.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Simple. How to know that we are becoming non-envious? We are able to accept the recommendation of Krishna. That itself, acceptance itself is a hallmark that we have love for Krishna. Otherwise, we will not accept. We will reject. Envious heart will immediately reject. Krishna came, he said to Duryodhana, just give them 5 villages. Simple. They don't want anything more. Just give them 5 villages. They'll be satisfied. What did he say? 5 villages? I will not give even an inch of land to drive the needle. They have to fight. That is envy. That is envy. Cannot accept the prosperity or success of anyone else. That is envy. Okay. It is 6:09. Okay, 6:09. Okay, last question.
प्रभु जी ऐसा होता है कि जैसे आपने बताया कि हम लोग को लगाव होता है से हम लोग उसको छोड़ भी नहीं पाते ना ऐसा लगता है कि हम लोग अगर उसको छोड़ देंगे सब कुछ छूट जाएगा इतना ज्यादा अटैचमेंट है उससे कि मतलब
इग्नोरेंस के कारण अटैचमेंट का कारण क्या है इग्नोरेंस इग्नोरेंस है तो जैसे जैसे नॉलेज आएगी तो क्या जाएगा इग्नोरेंस जाएगा अटैचमेंट चला जाएगा अगर नॉलेज नहीं गई इग्नोरेंस नहीं जाएगा इग्नोरेंस नहीं जाएगा अटैचमेंट कैसे जाएगा नहीं जाएगा अगर आप डार्कनेस में चल रहे हो तो आपकी परछाई आपके साथ ही चलेगी ना वो आपसे दूर कैसे होगी आप लाइट में आ जाओ परछाई गायब हो जाएगी सिंपल है अगर आप बोलोगे नहीं मैं रहूंगा डार्क में और परछाई भी नहीं लूंगा ये कैसे होगा ये तो होगा नहीं तो इसलिए एसोसिएशन चेंज करो एसोसिएशन चेंज करो इतनी 2 बार प्रभुपाद ने बताया कि कैसे आएगा ये चेंज इन एसोसिएशन एसोसिएशन अगर आपने एसोसिएशन चेंज किया तो बाकी सारा चेंज नेचुरल हो जाएगा और अगर एसोसिएशन नहीं चेंज किया तो कुछ नहीं चेंज होगा ठीक है थैंक यू ऑल वेरी मच आई एम ऑल्सो वेरी इंस्पायर्ड टू सी योर sincerity in hearing. This is very important element of devotional practice, which is hearing. So I have some good news for you. Our Dinesh Sharma sir, you know Dinesh Sharma sir? He was also making a lot of effort very silently. And he got the faculty club permission. From next Saturday, we will have our classes in faculty club. Yeah. So there will be, ample of better sitting spaces. Although I know you were not vying for anything, but still he was making a lot of effort. So he has got approval that every Saturday we can have classes there. And he showed me. I went there. He called me. He was waiting for me before I came, and he took me there and he showed me the place. A good facility. You have very good facility. There are 2-3 halls there. One is a very big hall which can accommodate more than 100-150, but I think that is not required. So I settled for a one which can accommodate 50 to 70, which is sufficient for us. AC sitting. So Krishna willing, from next Saturday, Dolamani sir will give you all the details. So you can, it is just walking from here. Okay. So maybe Krishna feels now that we have done a lot of tapasya here. Before this, we were in that small worship room. Yeah, there was so much disturbance because kitchen was active there. But still, wherever we were given space, we were agreeing, we were continuing. So now from the next Saturday, you plan. So you are all welcome in the faculty club. You all know faculty club, na? आप सब जानते हैं. But that has not been very much utilized. अभी मैं जाके गया, one, with it I could feel it has not been much utilized. That facility is not much utilized. It was lying dormant. So now we will utilize it. Thank you all very much. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. And everyone is welcome tomorrow. We have a big grand Rath Yatra in our temple. Those who are in Delhi NCR, all of you are in Delhi NCR, and those who are online also. So please don't miss it tomorrow between 5 to 7. Hare Krishna.